everybody.
Good morning.
Let's stand up and sing our opening song, please.
Woohoo!
Should be up on the screen momentarily. That's one I think you know by heart anyway. I release and I let go. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. 'Cause I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. One more time. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. My heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Yolo. My name is David Clark. I'm the senior minister here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. All right. I am so happy that our live stream is working. And we have blessed souls out there in cyberspace across the world that they're able to see us in real time. So awesome. It is working. So a special welcome to all of our online visitors today and our online membership that's out there. So, like I said, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're here for the first time, especially welcome to you. And just a little bit of housekeeping. We got bathrooms over here to the left, and we got bathrooms downstairs. Good to know. But I think everybody here knows that, so we're in good shape. If you are here for the first time, and I'm very excited today, very excited, because we have a very special guest. We have two special guests here today. We have the incomparable Alan Klein, that is our music director. He's our music director of the day. Billy is down in Southern California living with the beautiful people, and his son is getting married, so he's down there being the music and just loving that whole experience. And our speaker of the day is Reverend Donna Appadoni, who, if you close your eyes, you'll feel like you're driving in your car when you listen to her voice. You'll be transported to your car. Donna is so busy, and I just want to give a little introduction right now as to what she's been up to since retirement. She was the Morning Edition host for 20 years on Capital Public Radio, and now she moves into her next phase, and, well, she's just doing a lot. Donna Appadoni, she writes segments for America's Heartland and Next Avenue, and those are both shows, and I'm familiar with America's Heartland. They're both produced by PBS affiliates and distributed nationwide. And next month, she will receive an Artistic License Award from the California Lawyers for the Arts. And that's awesome. And, what else on her bio here? I lost my place. I got lost in the awesomeness. I already talked about Donna hosting Capital Public Radio and hosting Morning Edition. But she's also written 2 books, Drive Time Meditations and Transformation, and they're both available on Amazon. And there's something about a new podcast. You're going to hear a little bit about that? Yeah, you have to tell us about that. Yeah, the podcast thing is awesome. And if you want to know what she's up to, you can find her on donnaabadoni.com. So she will be speaking with us today and delivering a wonderful message. So I'm very much looking forward to that. If it is your first time here, or if you're new to the philosophy, there are 4 things that we'd like to let you know about and what we believe and practice here at the Center for Spiritual Living Yolo. Number 1, we believe that love is all there is. Everything is a call for love, an expression of love, a seeking of love. Love, if you woke up today and you didn't think of love, you just didn't wake up today, because we are surrounded by love constantly and constantly motivated by it. So we acknowledge the fact that love is all there is. Number 2, we believe that all thought is creative and influential. Thoughts are things. They are actual things. So before it comes into being, before it becomes material, everything around you existed first in thought. So we pay a lot of attention to what we think and what we believe in this philosophy, because we know that that is going to directly reflect what we see in our lives. Number 3, we believe that you are whole, perfect, and complete, exactly as you are right now. And we believe this because we come from a whole, perfect, and complete source that only makes whole, perfect, and complete things. So we have a very easy math to do to figure out that we ourselves are whole, perfect, and complete, just as we are today. Lastly, we believe in a world that works for everyone, and we're working from that world together. Not a world that we're trying to make work for everyone, but this is a world that works. Cause and effect and love and law have always operated in the same way throughout time. So we're just figuring out how this world works to make it work for us. So without further ado, we get to my favorite time of the day, our Namaste time, where we have a chance to see and greet each other and really see the divinity that is residing inside of all of us. And just say, hey, divinity, how you doing? With our Namaste greeting. So let's Namaste. Namaste time. And now please welcome our practitioner of the day, Bobby Bolden, to the microphone right now. She's going to let us know about our vision, our mission, and share with us today's affirmation. Good morning, Bobby.
Good morning, David. Good morning, everyone. Wow. Such a beautiful morning, right? So we have our vision statement, we have our mission statement. I'm going to read them through once, and then I'm going to invite you to repeat it, read it with me. All right? CSL Yolo vision. Our vision is to create an environment for all to realize the power of spiritual connection. All right? Let's say it together. Our vision is to create an environment for all to realize the power of spiritual connection. And now our mission statement. Our mission is to provide a sanctuary for all to be lifted and inspired to embody spiritual principles and live their inherent greatness together. Our mission is to provide a sanctuary for all to be lifted and inspired to embody spiritual principles and live their inherent greatness. Great. And so we have an affirmation for today. The affirmation is, what I say and see around me is a reflection of who I am. Please stand. Let's say that together. Together. What I say and see around me is a reflection of who I am. One more time. What I say and see around me is a reflection of who I am. Thank you. All right, so now we have our announcement given by our Vice President, Tracy Gerardo. All right. I got the right person today?
Good morning. I'm really excited to talk about the mindfulness and walking meditation we'll be having today with Jason Gerardo. This is happening today after fellowship at 12:30, from 12:30 to 1:30. Discover how to incorporate walking meditation into your everyday routine and reap the benefits of this powerful practice. Don't miss out on this amazing opportunity to rejuvenate your mind and body while exploring the serene Poudre Creek path. So we'll all gather today at the community center down over here by Poudre Creek and embark on a 30-minute walk along the creek, followed by 30 minutes of discussion about mindfulness and walking meditation. Best of all, this event is free and open to all members of the community. So don't mark your calendars because it's today. Okay, so I hope to see you all there. Next up, we have 5 Gifts for an Abundant Life by Dr. Deborah Taylor, who's here as well. Dr. Taylor is facilitating this new class to discover the 5 gifts for an abundant life. It's created by Dr. Diane Harmony, and you can give to create a consciousness of wealth. Gratitude, intention, forgiveness, tithing, and surrender. This is your guide to living the completely abundant life you were born to live. Practice these proven principles and experience growth in many areas of your life. It's coming in June. Next up, speaking of June, we have the gratitude group, which is led by June Robinson. It is canceled this month for May, but it is resuming on June 8th. It normally meets regularly on the second Thursday of the month, and the mission of the gratitude group is to uplift our lives through an ever-increasing sense of gratitude for Spirit's presence throughout our lives. In this group, we explore the very nature of gratitude and its many gifts through community help is needed. The Davis Respite donations of new men's and women's underwear, socks, gently used clothes, blankets, sleeping bags, and shoes are always welcome. Finally, we have another special, know him well. We're excited to have him join us. Thank you.
I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Reverend Donna's book, Drive Time Meditation. I look at myself in the mirror. I reflect on what I see. I identify my biases to see that my biases are not normal. My biases are unfounded. There is no scientific evidence for biases. They do not serve me. I release. Instead of thinking I am different from the rest, I see how we are the same. We have so much in common. We have so much to offer each other. I think the ones who taught me bias, for them. I carry them with me until they can see for themselves. I lead the way on the path of empathy. I set the tone in what I say, see how easy it can be. We look at ourselves in the mirror. We reflect on the goodness that we see.
It's now time in your seats. Maybe close your eyes if you so choose. I invite you to breathe in, take a deep breath in, let it and out. And one more in. For this beautiful day, for the hills and winters, the green grass, the blue sky, and gratitude, such gratitude for all of us here, allowing Spirit to move through us. And as I bask in this gratitude, I am remembering that there is only one source of all life. I am remembering the truth that God is the source. God is all there is. We may know God by many names. Maybe Buddha, the light, maybe Spirit, Mother Earth, Allah, Jesus the Christ. We may call God knowing intelligence, may be known by infinite, the infinite of all infinity. The names, I am remembering that God is flowing through this sanctuary right now, moving into and around everything that is as love, as truth, as wisdom, as joy, always expressing itself as health. Yes, God is here right now. I am knowing that God is who I am, always expressing through me, moving through me. Because God is my life. I know that God is your life, is the life of every person who is here. I am remembering that God is moving through my body temple, from the top of my head, every atom and every function of my being. Yes, God is who I am. God is what I am. God is who you are in this sanctuary today. And as I recognize this, I am feeling so grateful for that expression. I give a blessing for everyone who showed up early this morning. Oh, our technical director, Alan Klein. I give a blessing for Barry, who we came to set up. I give a blessing for everyone who is working during the week, our board members. I give a blessing to our practitioners who are constantly praying and surrounding the center with love and truth and wholeness, making sure our care circle leaders, our gratitude group leaders. Oh, I am just so thankful for these people in our community who is leading with such grace, such love, with such dynamic truth. Today, I am just blessing our speaker, Reverend Donna Apidoni. I know that her words are coming with joy, filled with dynamic expression of peace, of harmony. I know the Spirit is moving through her, guiding every. For we are all individual expressions of God, and God is expressing through Reverend Donna today. And with this, I say thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, these beautiful angels that we have here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Yolo. And I invite everyone to join me in angel. Oh, amen. And so he is.
So is. Get ready, my soul, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've longed here, to the present moment here, to a new beginning here, and I'm seeing life so my soul. I'm diving in, get ready, my soul. I'm diving to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. And here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in, get ready to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul.
Thank you, Alan.
Many years. So it's good that we're here today on the same platform at the same time. So I promised I would say something about a podcast, but it came sort of out of the blue about the time that I left Cap Radio last year, and I'm looking forward to that. The more immediate podcast kind of thing that I can tell you about, because it's already in Lifetime Meditations that I put together a year ago. And it's now available in podcast form. Some of the material is free anytime you want it, and some is a subscription series. That's all available, but that's not why I'm here. The reason I'm here is to tell you a little bit of a story about the day that I realized I needed some new people who I know, who are very good friends, like-minded people. We all love each other very much. We all want the world to be a better place. And we get together fairly often. Gathering. About 5 minutes into it, I noticed a really weird vibe. Some people were complaining, some people were criticizing, some were talking about being so anxious about one thing or another, and some of them were talking about feeling so overwhelmed about one thing or another. And I, so unministerial, I wanted to get up in the middle of that room and say, just stop it! Have you ever had that happen? Have you ever been in a place where you look around and you just want to say, just that from my old coach. My old coach used to say that to us all the time. And the first time she said, just stop it, I was really offended. Really? What do you mean? My coach, I realized that it was really a valuable tool that she gave us when she said, just stop it. And when I became a coach, I realized how valuable that tool really is, because sometimes you just have, sometimes there's a very good reason for that. For example, when a kid reaches out and starts to put his hand in the fire, you're going to say, oh, now let me explain to you about heat and about... And that is a very important thing that we have to do. Another coach of mine, Coach Wayne, gave me a lot of wonderful gifts. One of them is really handy. It's a form of just stop it, but it works a little bit differently. For example, if I say, I'm stressed, what if you weren't? What if you did? I don't like it. What if you did? I'm overwhelmed. What if you weren't? Just such a valuable tool with bells. Just turn everything negative into something more positive. Just redirect the way you say it and the way you look at it. Because that is new thought, isn't it? I can change my... About 20 years ago, I made some promises to myself. I was going through a time, we all go through a time at one point or another. And going through that time, I decided I needed to make a change. I made some notes on the changes that I wanted to make. It was so interesting when I was putting together this talk. One day, I think I'm going to clean out that box in the garage, and I was cleaning out the box, and guess what I found? I was flopping that in my lap, and I was trying to remember, what did I write all those years ago? They were my intentions about making authentic change. And I think there are two kinds, really. Like, I think I'll clean out the box in the garage. That's a simple kind of an authentic action. It means something, it's an action, but it's pretty easy to accomplish. And then there's changed my life, or I really should not be continuing the way I have been. And that's what I was working on when I did that. So I wrote them down, put them on that sheet of paper, put them in an envelope. Eventually, now, 20 years later, and see what it was I wanted to do as my authentic action. Here are a few of them. Be helpful. Be truthful. Take the best of the information and put it to use, and don't be offended. And be positive, even when I don't feel like it. I had like 2 pages of these little things that I wrote down that I wanted to do as my authentic actions. I was really ready to take that authentic about it, because you can't accidentally do authentic action. It has to be an intention. It has to be something that you plan to do, that you want to do. You have to be intentional about it. And I'm happy to say now, 20 years later, when I looked, considering that was something I had totally forgotten about for a while, I was real happy to see what the results were. So the title of this talk, about that air check, is something radio people do. So that was a big part of my career for most of my life. We spend hours and hours getting ready for, and then when the show is over, we listen to recordings of what we did on the show. And people hear me say that, and they think, like, that's weird. You do all of that. Well, don't you? Don't you kind of look at them afterwards and say, how did this sound? So we all do that. It's just that you don't have to listen necessarily to tapes of your performance over and over again. We're listening for what sounded good, and maybe once every other week, A supervisor comes along and listens to the recordings with us. And that person is listening for what could be better or what was really good. Usually, I thought that was really good. And sometimes the boss says, just stop it. You know when you do that thing, don't do that anymore. Okay. So, just everything that I do has sort of a little air check attached to it, where I listen to the little recordings in my head of what I did and what I said and what my act and what I want to improve on, because there's always something to improve on. For example, if you feel stressed one day, you can look at that and say, well, why? Why did I feel stressed? And then you can say, how did I share that energy with other people? How did I express my fear or my anger? Did I throw it down in front of someone else? Stress? Because that happens. And stress is just one example. It's just one kind of thing. It could be fear. It could be anxiety of something. Take a look at that afterwards and say, how am I going to do better with this now and the next time it rolls around? Now, there may be somebody listening to say, what if it did? Just by looking at it, we make it different. Just by looking at it, we change. It's so important. Every time we look at something, when you hear yourself saying something negative, what do I get from this? Is it serving me in some way that I didn't know about before? And what can I do differently from now on? We know that. If we know the thoughts become reality, why do we complain? I'll share it with you so you can mull it over too. Don't let anyone step in it though. When we complain, we're giving our circumstances to other people and we're exposing. So just stop it. Why not? Just stop it. Here are a couple of ways to redirect. Practice certainty. Not too long ago, I sat with somebody. She was crying and she was ranting and she was really upset. And throughout the rant, she kept saying, this isn't like me. It's weird for me to be acting see that because I see you as a really grounded person. And the tears stopped and the rant stopped. I wasn't trying to stop them. I was just giving her some feedback. And she said, and it was fun. I don't know her very well, but it was fun to see her for a couple of weeks after that, because several times she was talking to other people and I was within earshot, and she'd say, you know, usually I think of myself all along. We know who we are. We just need some reminders sometimes. So whether it's coming from internal or we're reminding each other, it's still that what we do and what we say. Another way is to remember that life is one big performance. It kind of is. I mean, right now it's a spiritual performance, but it's one ourselves to the world. Now, how do you want to do that? Well, if Alan played a wrong chord, he hasn't so far. If he did, he wouldn't just stop in the middle of the song and say, okay, wait a minute, I have to stop over that, I'll start all over again. Excuse me, the lighting is off. Could you move that a little bit to the side before I go on? No, you don't do that. Life goes on. We just keep going. The show must go on, and we go on stage. But we have to anticipate that it could happen, and that someone's watching, and that someone's picking up on what we're doing. Now, I'm not saying it's circulating. It's energy that everybody else picks up on. So be mindful of what you're expressing, but also be mindful of what you're sharing with other people, so that you're giving them a good part of your inner way to redirect. Remember that no matter what you say and no matter what you do, we're connected to each other and we're sharing all the time. Music just kind of ripples through my head sometimes and I don't know why, and I have to sit there and go, where did that song come from? Why am I thinking of that song right now? And that was happening while I was writing this talk. I thought of a few songs in a children's book in a positive way. There's sort of a metaphysical air check. And these songs were written, I don't know, 7,500 years ago, people were sneaking in little metaphysical notions without thinking anything of it, like Snow White and her 7 buddies, remember them? They sang, "Whistle while you work." Well, that's kind of making a happy thing about something that might not be all that much fun. To the big house where she was going to care for the children and being scared to death and singing, "I have confidence." Making the best of that moment. And called Siam and singing, "I whistle a happy tune and no one even knows I'm afraid." And then the little engine that could, saying, "I think I can." That are reminders that we can redirect what we're thinking and make it a good thing for ourselves and for everybody around us. It's an easy enough thing to do when we remember it. Thought words, are they new thought principles that you're sharing with everyone? If not, how can you rephrase what you're saying so that they are? What energy are you circulating? And it doesn't just go for energy are you circulating really with everybody around you. How can you act with certainty? How can you express and increase your own certainty so that that's what, not only what you feel, but a certain amount of certainty? And I've had people say, "Oh, well, that's easy for you to say. You're up there talking to us. Yeah, you have more certainty than I have." That's not true. Don't always have as much certainty as you would think. There's a certain amount of imposter syndrome that happens when people are up in this place. I used to interview authors, New York Times best-selling list, but I just don't know if I can write another one. Oh, come on. You obviously have the talent, you obviously have the skill, but they agonize just like everybody else does and wonder if they're capable. We forget all of that. When we get into that place where for me it's presenting, for you it's performing, for you it's presenting and performing, it just goes away. And we're just in that zone. And it goes for everybody, whether you're an attorney or a nurse or an architect, when you are there doing what you do best, all of that other stuff in that presence, because that's when things really happen. We make our realities. We make our realities. And if I say, saying is I don't feel like it right now, I don't want to put in the effort, really I know better. Really, I know I can. When it's important, we find a way. When it's important, we take our hands out of the fire. I have a plot twist for you. Like the last 7 minutes of Law and Order, or the last 50 pages of a John Lasqua crime, and they didn't know it, and we didn't know it, and all of a sudden the whole crime is solved, just like that. So that's where we are in this talk right now. Because I've told you about the metaphysical air check, but now I'm going to, because at one time or another you've known a baby. A little baby. You've raised them, you've held them, you've met a few in your life. At some point, very early in a child's life, because a baby doesn't understand a mirror. I'm fascinated, trying to touch that thing there. Baby is frail. Days later, you hold the baby in front of the mirror again. What they see that time is the adult. Oh, that looks just like Mom. Just a little bit. Then a few days later, you put the baby in front of the mirror again. And this time, they notice that the baby in the mirror is doing the same thing they're doing. Is them. And that's what I see when I look into the metaphysical mirror. I see that all the things I like about all of you, all the annoying people in the world, are really a part of me. That's what we see in the metaphysical mirror on some level. And that's what we have to realize, that that reflection is acting just like us. And that we're, it goes both ways. We're acting just like it. That's what we see in the mirror, and that's what we get to do about it. Inbox from the universe. Do you know about this? You know about the universe emails? They're so good. So I don't know who this guy is. He sits somewhere and he writes these little wonderful messages. So again, this little thing just dropped into my lap as I was writing this talk. It was a Thursday, and this was the message I got in my email. That you attract certain types of folks based on your thoughts, beliefs, and expectations. Now that is really, really good news, huh? Like attracts like. My inbox on the day when I was putting together the talk and needed that. I'm the only face in that mirror. You're the only face you see in your mirror. And just like, so let me just give you a review. It's always good to get to the end of the talk and do a small review. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. Do your metaphysics. Design your words and redesign your actions. Look at yourself in the real mirror and in the metaphysical mirror, and know that everything you see around you is reflected. They're created by us, for us. All we have to do is pay attention. And together we say, and
I don't normally introduce this next one in light of the unbelievable frequency of the mass shootings that have been occurring. One of the teachers at Sandy Hook Elementary School, of course it's been many years since that incident, but it really underscores what we need to remind ourselves about in relation to other human beings. To be humble, to be kind, it is the giving of the peace in your mind. To give in such a way as no end. We are love, we are one, we are how, we are war, we are how we treat each other and nothing more. To be bold, to be brave, and still be safe. And the darkness can come quick. The danger is in the anger and in the hanging on to it. We treat each other when the day is done. We are peace, we are war, we are how we treat each other, and nothing. A world that's full of endless possibilities, and heroes don't look like they used to. They we are love, we are one, we are how we treat each other when the day is done. How we treat each other, nothing more. We are how we treat each other, nothing more. We are how we treat each other.
Alan Klein, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, the incomparable. And message. Oh man, and I don't like listening to myself. But according, so we are a center that observes the spiritual practice of giving and tithing, and there is a very definite reason that we're all holistic way. And to that end, I got a real quick story. It's a transformation from one to another. 10 years ago, I'm driving, and this is the Bay Area, there's a car that zooms past me, zoom, cuts me off, kind of gets into my lane, as they're kind of weaving in and out of traffic. And I thought to myself, man, pulled over. And as soon as I said that, no sooner than I said that, a cop goes zooming past me. And I think, ha! You're going to get it now. And then they are getting a ticket. And I'm in my car saying, yes, it works. So that was 10 years ago. So now, fast forward to today. I'm on my way in here and so I'm kinder and gentler now. So I move over and I let him go. And I'm like, man, he must be in a hurry. And he's gone. And I'm like, oh, he's going to get that guy. He pulled him over. And as I'm passing, I'm thinking, the only thing that I'm thinking in my mind is, man, I hope something that's terrible in your life. I'm praying for the person that's getting pulled over. I'm praying for everybody's safety. I'm thinking good, affirming thoughts. And I wasn't trying to. It's all about feeling that way towards someone else. It felt good. Sure, it felt good to say, I told you so. It always feels good to do that. To pray for someone. To know their perfection. To know their health. To know that God is with them. It's a joyous feeling over time. So that is why we give. That is why we have conscious and committed and structured giving, so that we can have a place to come and learn peace. To be lifted and inspired to embody spiritual principles and live their inherent greatness. And when we are at peace and we are one with God, we are living our inherent greatness. So every quarter we give to an organization that has similar ideals as we do. And this quarter we're giving to the Women Educate and Enhance the Lives of Seniors. And we are going to have a representative coming and telling us a little bit more about what the Winter Senior Foundation does. But that's who we are. Some of us are seniors. Some of us will be seniors. Best case scenario, the absolute best case scenario in your life is that you become a senior. So there are many ways to give. If you're joining us online today, a great way to give is just to go out to our website at CSLYolo.org and hit the Donate Now button, and you'll be directed. We can also text to give at the number that's on the screen right now, 530-322-8441. You can use PayPal to our PayPal address, or you can send us a good old many ways to give. And now that we know why we give, and we know how to give, let us enter into that sacred consciousness of divine abundance. And I invite you to place your hand over your heart, symbolizing that vibration with me, our abundance affirmation. I give with an attitude of abundance, knowing that as I give, I do receive. Today, I give from the knowledge that all is well.
God is my source, so I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power. God gives me everything I need, everything I need. God is my source, God is my power. God gives me everything I need.
That all is well. As we have freely given, according to the law of circulation, it returns to us full measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. So we will always have more to be so, and so it is. And to all the children out there, the children that are nestled into our hearts, and we're here for you. And we are so glad you're here.
And we're so glad you're here.
All right. We believe that means that we believe that we are connected. We have an unbreakable connection to God and an unbreakable connection to each other. And we express, and so if you feel that you are in the need of affirmative prayer, if you want to affirmatively be grateful about something that's great that's happening for you, or if you're working on something and you're supporting and enriching and embracing you right now, then please see one of our prayer practitioners. We've got 2 in the room today, Dr. Deborah and Bobby. Oh, we got 3. And if you need to talk, then please come to us, and that's what we love to do, that's what we're trained to do, and that's what we live to do. There's some sweets down there, gotta warn you, you might be tempted. So please join us after the service downstairs for our fellowship time, and let's get to talk and know each other. Up and have our closing song. Oh, it's birthdays. It's the first birthday. Do you know the birthday song? Yeah. All right. It is the first Sunday. All you May babies. We just had a lot of April babies. So we might be out of birthdays by now, but anybody who's in May. Oh, we got a May back there. Oh, we got several. All right. Say happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bobby.
All right, happy birthday, y'all. Let's circle up and have our closing song.
It hath begun with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. Are we? Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony.
Yes, peace begins.
Yes, peace begins with every step I take. Let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment. There is peace on earth when it has begun with me.
Go forth with your day, with your you see, and always remember that God loves you, and so it is.